There's a reason for the sunshine and sky. There's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season that your love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the midnight nights with your love. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Yeah, let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love bind you to all living things. Let your love shine. You'll know what I mean, that's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights. There's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when the love lights shine all around us. Let your love, let the wonder take you into space. Let you wonder. It's love and embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Let your love flow like a mountain stream. Let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love shine. Well, you know what I mean, it's the reason. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing. Let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, that's the reason.
All right, Teresa James, everyone, let's give her some love. So you were at the 32 the other night,
We were.
and how was that?
It was packed, and we had a million dancers. It was.
Ireland's 32, you know where that is, you guys? It's a fun Irish, in fact, it's probably the only authentic Irish pub in the valley, I would say.
I would say so. And
Yeah.
it's just a little neighborhood bar. It's
And they
very-
serve enough Guinness that it's fresh. And if you know what that means, that's very important when it
almost
comes to
tastes
Guinness.
Like, it's almost like what you get.
Yeah, it's like almost right out of the...
So we'll be there March 8th, you guys. It's a Saturday night. Ireland's 32.
Yeah.
I think there's 32 counties in Ireland. I think that's
Very
what the name
good.
is.
There is, in fact, 32 counties in Ireland. And 6 that they're still working on getting back into the fold. But we won't go into that today, because this is a resentment-free zone right now. All right, so welcome, everyone. It's great to have you back, particularly those of you who were here yesterday. It's nice to see you here on a Sunday. Man, 2 days in a row of church, that's a lot of religion for one weekend. For those of you joining us online, my name is Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the senior minister here, and you are, we're beaming into you from the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills. We're in the North San Fernando Valley, a faith community where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. So welcome, and please use the chat and get to know each other online while we do the same here. Our presider today is the wonderful Andrea Recht. Let's give her some love. All right, so let's just start by bringing the lights down just a wee bit as we take a deep, conscious breath. And feel the exhale, feel the release of the exhale as we allow ourselves to surrender to this moment, this eternal now moment. As we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Now, fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience which we honor here this morning. So as Andrea lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course, within our own hearts. And as Andrea lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
And so how grateful I am for this opportunity to stop and remember that there is but one life expressing itself in, through, and as all creation. It is omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. It is everywhere expressing itself. And knowing that it's everywhere, it must be right here, right where I am, expressing as my life. My life is the life of infinite intelligence, the life of peace and beauty and joy and love. I know this is true for each of us here. And from this place of oneness, in this consciousness of oneness, I bless this morning's service, declaring it to be good and very good, knowing that it is, in fact, a divine idea in the mind of infinite intelligence, therefore it can only be good. I bless Reverend Mike as he comes forward and allows the word of inspiration and love to move through him in an unencumbered way. I know that the words fall on open hearts and open minds, that we are shifted and lifted and changed by virtue of this morning's service and the love that is here. And for this and so much more than words can express, I remain thankful and grateful as I lovingly release this word to the law, declaring it to be done already. And in agreement with this word spoken, we simply affirm it by saying together, and so it is. Good morning, beloveds. Happy birthday, Reverend Nancy. Many happy returns of the day to you. You are loved. We're grateful for you. And we have fun with you, too. And I appreciate your wisdom and your guidance, as Nikki so eloquently spoke about earlier. I second that. Love you so much. So a lot of you were here yesterday for the wonderful workshop that Reverend Mike and Reverend Gordon presented on community, building community, sacred community. And it was a wonderful day. Thank you for that wonderful day and the presentation. Something somebody said in their introductions, because we passed the microphone around and everybody introduced themselves. And one of our newer members, guests, said that when she first started coming here, she recognized what was being said from the pulpit. And I'm going to paraphrase this. I may mess it up a little bit, but this is what I got from it. I knew what they were saying, but I wasn't sure I was being it. I heard what they were saying from the pulpit, but was I living it? Am I being what I talk about up here? Are we being sacred community? This is Coretta Scott King said, the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. They will know us by how we love each other. And I think that is the measure of community. And how do we love each other? How well do we love one another? And how well are we being these principles and practicing? And I love that it's a practice, right? Because I don't have to feel compelled to do it perfectly all the time. So you've probably heard this poem that I'm going to share with you, which was written by a gal named Kitty O'Meara during the pandemic. And it kind of made me think about community a little bit more. So it goes like this. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows. And the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses, they made new choices, dreamed new images, and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed. I came to spiritual community to heal, really, to heal a bunch of stuff that I had been carrying around for years, old ideas about myself and you, old ideas that didn't serve me anymore. So if you have come here to heal, this is a safe place for you to land, and we're grateful that you're here. Thank you.
Alarm clock screaming, bare feet hit the floor. It's off to the races, everybody out the door. I'm feeling like I'm falling behind. It's a crazy life. 90 miles an hour, going fast as I can, trying to push a little harder, wanna get the upper hand. So much to do in so little time. It's a crazy life. Well, it's ready, set, go. It's another wild day when the stress is on the rise. In my heart, I hear you say, just breathe. Just breathe. Come and rest at my feet. And just be. Just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need is just breathe. Third cup of gold just to get me through the day. Wanna make the most of time, but I feel it slip away. I wonder if there's something more to this crazy life. Oh, and I'm busy, 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 and it's no surprise to me that I only have time for me, me, me. There's gotta be more to this crazy life. Tight to another wild day when it starts to fall apart in my heart. I hear you say, just breathe. Just breathe. Come and rest at my feet and be. Just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need, take it all in, fill your lungs, the peace of God that overcomes. Just breathe, just breathe. Let your weary spirit rest, lay down this good. Find what's best, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, breathe, come and rest at my feet and just be. Just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need is just breathe.
That was a good one, huh? Teresa, dang, you made me cry, girl.
I needed to hear that.
That was so beautiful. Thank you. Wow. That was awesome. So I have some announcements to share with you. Practitioners are available today in the treatment room or anywhere you want to grab us and ask for prayer. Make my day, ask me to pray. You know, we want to help you anchor whatever it is that you'd like to anchor in your awareness more firmly, release something perhaps. You know, before I get into the announcements, let me just say that if there's anybody new here, would you mind just letting us know who you are? Hi, welcome, welcome. Anybody else new here? I see some people who were here last week for the first time. We're delighted to have you back again. So turn around and say hello to someone if you don't mind. Just say hello, welcome. You're most welcome here, and we're delighted that you're here. So happy you're here. And I'm so happy to see this sanctuary practically full. Wow. And it's full because you're here, so thank you for being here. Okay, back to, that's enough. All right, settle down. Oh. Creating the Beloved Community Workshop was yesterday, as I mentioned, with Reverend Mike and Reverend Gordon, and the second part is next Saturday from 10 to 2. If you'd like to sign up for that, you can do so in Sparks Hall, and we are asking ourselves the question, what would love do? What would love do? You can also contact Danny, our administrative person in the office, at admin@cslgh.org. Today, after second service, we're honoring Reverend Nancy with a potluck to celebrate her 70th birthday. Oh, sorry. 80th birthday, yes, Nancy. Today at 7 o'clock, the Center for Spiritual Living Sanctuary in Simi Valley will present Martin and music. We are going to receive, our center will receive $10 from every ticket sale when you mention CSLGH at the door. Please see the flyer in Sparks Hall. Wednesday, February 26th, the Science of Mind discussion group with Reverend Nancy and Reverend Maureen, the two queens of the Center for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills. They're having a casual discussion group on what the science of mind is. So if you're curious about this teaching and this philosophy, come on by on Wednesday night and pop in with Reverend Nancy and Reverend Maureen. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. Is that correct? Yes. On Thursdays, AA has a meeting here, a recurring meeting. So if you want to find out more about Alcoholics Anonymous, come on by. The Center for Spiritual Living Granada Hills wants to thank you for your generous donations throughout the year 2024. The contribution reports and letters have been mailed out, but they're also here available to pick up in person, correct? They're still here, or were they mailed? Okay, so if we didn't have an address for you, you can, they're on the counter in the lobby in a box. Okay, we have a gratitude box that we pull from every week, and our board member, Barbara Cherney, is going to come up and read from the gratitude box. I'm sure we all have so much to be grateful for, but this is what somebody wrote that they are grateful for.
Right, and Ms. Chloe picked it out for me today, and this is the God box, and in the bottom it says, expect miracles.
Yes.
So that's really cool. Okay, so today, what I'm grateful for, health, friendship, and family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to do our declaration of principles. So these are the, if you'd like to stand up, you don't have to, but if you don't mind, if you're able to, stand and join us in reading our declaration of principles. This is what we believe in here. Ready? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and in the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Y'all sing with me now. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
So I just love how you took a guitar song and made it into a piano song. That was amazing. Yeah, that's like Faith, what's her name, right? Faith Hill, Breathe. Yeah. So let's give her some more love, huh? You got a sitting ovation today. All right, and I love where Andrea took us this morning. I'm tempted to just completely go off my notes, but you really wouldn't want that to happen, believe me. But one of the things I will pick up on is this thing about where we're afraid we're not living up to our spiritual potential, let's say. At least that's what I heard. So we have these beautiful principles, this beautiful teaching, however we understand that to be. And for many of us, that may be an amalgam of, our religion of origin folded into science of mind, right? Because what's important is our understanding, our own personal understanding of how the philosophy works for us initially. And then hopefully we grow in our understanding to such an extent that we can then extend it to others. So there's an Indian story that I was thinking of that was actually in talk notes this week about an Indian yogi traveling in the 11th century through India and had a text of spiritual teachings under his arm. And a woman came up to him and said, do you understand all the words that are in that book? And he said, well, yes, I do. And so then she said, well, do you understand all of the words in this book? And this teacher, coming from a place of not wanting to disappoint this woman, said, well, yes, I do. And she goes, you liar, you're a hypocrite, right? So she kind of called him out on the idea that the words point to something really that's ineffable, that we're evolving, we're continuing to grow in our understanding of what it truly means. So we don't really arrive anywhere. So many of us come from faith systems, as I did. I was thinking about the difference between more traditional faith systems and New Thought. And it was something when you were talking, Andre, that hit me, that my religion of origin was Christianity, and in particular, my flavor was Roman Catholicism. And this is not unique to Christianity, but when we come to, I think we come to these more traditional teachings from a place of looking for relief from the world, relief from our sin, relief from our error, if you will, relief from our poor choices. And I think what New Thought does, in all of its various iterations, is it understands that there's a healing that needs to take place, and that is where the relief is, right? Now, that's a heavy lift sometimes, yes? Because what it means is we have to let go. We have to let go of some old stuff. And I don't know about you, but when I came to the teaching, I had to let go of a lot of stuff. A lot more than I've seen you guys have to dump, by the way. Just saying. Not bragging. And so it's appropriate both in this, the continuation of creating spiritual or creating beloved community that we've been exploring this month, but also for our own spiritual unfoldment, is this idea of letting go, a new way of being, and a new way of being together. What are we ready to let go of so that we can be more present to each other? And so we have a modern example of this, of course, let it go, let it go. Da, da, da. Right? So Disney is into the let it go, man. I'm so in touch with my feminine side right now. But when I found this graphic, I couldn't help but think about this, right? That diamonds are a girl best friend. So even in this realm, things have shifted, right? So a story of sisterly love, that's much more important than the old notions of romantic love and doing whatever you have to do to get the guy or the girl. Not that any of us have done that. Versus, so the love of sisters is the story, if you don't know, and versus the love of diamonds, which, although if you know the movie, this is from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, there was a sisterly love between Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe, their characters. So speaking of Frozen. So, and I would also like to thank everyone who was here yesterday and that you're here today. That's quite an achievement to go to church 2 days in a row. And I want to give a quick shout out to Danny and Beverly Scott and Andrea and of course Rev Gordon. But anyone who had, it really was a community effort to get things pulled together, to get things rolling yesterday. So I appreciate that. So we did some good work yesterday. We did some good work yesterday in getting acquainted, in sharing what community means to us and what it might look like, right? First in dyads and then speaking into the room. Of course, there's never enough time to do these things to the full exploration. But we got a sense, we got a taste of each other through the process. We talked about this book, Creating Beloved Community. We talked about that some. We explored some of the key concepts. concepts, shared some info on how anger as an emotion rather than reality, and how words can trigger or pull us off of our spiritual center from which we want to operate, okay? And then to push us the way that we want to be, right? The example we wish to be to the world, our emotions can pull us off of that into some other realm, right? And even as that is happening, right, the key, the practice, if you will, is to not judge it, right? But just to allow ourselves to be open in awareness so that we can catch ourselves, right? And not to catch ourselves instantaneously in some kind of way, which is a possibility for sure. But the thing is that for most of us, if we make incremental change on a daily basis, right? If we can get 1% better every day in 100 days, we're going to be 100% better, right? If we have a business that becomes 10% more profitable year in and year out, in 10 years, we're going to be cooking with gas. We're going to have a very highly profitable endeavor. Well, consciousness works the same way, right? Consciousness works the same way. So we can get pulled off our center. So the point that is implied rather than spoken, that anger, according to Dr. Ryan, that anger takes us to a reactive state rather than being in the responsive state that we may prefer to be. That the reactive state shuts down the heart, it closes the mind, which often means we retreat back into ways of thinking that we are most comfortable with. Now, what does that mean? Our ego is usually really invested. Why is this? Because we have this mental, not that ego is bad necessarily, right? There is healthy ego, yes? Yes. Okay. But we don't want to be held bound. We don't want to be shackled into old ways of thinking. That may or may not serve us, but maybe really what we just need to do is to consider other ways so that we can understand ourselves better and in the process understand others better. And when spiritual community is optimal, I think that's really happening. So, now maybe I said we, maybe I should just say I. When this happens is that I can often retreat into ways of thinking that I'm most comfortable in, including at times angry states of mind. And I just want to say that I know what it is to be angry and frustrated for so long that I wasn't even aware that I had anger issues. And maybe you guys have known that for a while, I don't know. But one of the questions posed yesterday was, do angry people tend to be more successful? That was stated in the video that we watched, which I thought I'm still pondering that one, frankly. Now, why is this important? For those who are operating in the world, kind of just grinding along, head down, taking care of mine, guarding my little patch, this may be fine. If there is any awareness of reactivity, it's quickly dismissed. And that life is experienced as business as usual. For those committed to living life through spiritual perspectives and principles, though, this can be a daunting and even sometimes torturous path, trying to align our spiritual beliefs so that they express as a life that looks like compassion, that extends not just to ourselves, but to those around us as well, and to the world as well. In 12-step, they say, what an order, I can't go through with it, right? Because it's a heavy spiritual lift, I think, if you are wired like I am. This is like a daily thing. Because, you know, it's not enough to sit on our anthill chanting the name of God. Praying, you know, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be separate from the supreme joy that is beyond all sorrow. May all beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. We have to do more than chant. We even have to do more than believe. Right? We have to embody. And embody implies action. Right? And that can be challenging. So how to live in the world from this space can be challenging. So for religious scientists, I think we would do well to remember this ancient teaching, because this comes right down from the Buddha, by the way, who was like 500 years before Jesus. So in that way, Christianity would have been the new thought teaching back in that day, right? So how to live in the world from this space can be challenging. That we would do well to remember this ancient teaching as well. We don't want to be so caught up in our own jam that we cannot see the suffering of others. As religious scientists, we do not deny suffering. We deny the power that suffering has over us, right? We know that there is a deeper universal spiritual truth longing to express itself as life, as creative intelligence, as living intelligence, longing to express itself. How? By its creation, by its creatures, you and me. This blends nicely, really. If you look at Christianity from a metaphysical perspective, it's right in there from the teachings of Jesus. So we do not deny suffering. We deny the power that suffering has over us or the world, which means we don't get to hide in our teaching affirming that all is well when we can see evidence that all may not be well. We don't get to hide in the teaching affirming that all is well when our life may feel like it's unraveling as we cling to things that we feel are being taken away from us, or run away from stuff that we don't like or maybe are afraid of, or we witness it in the lives of others. This was a constant teaching of the carpenter. Now, Pema Chodron has this take on it from her book. If you don't know Pema Chodron, look her up. She's an amazing teacher, Buddhist teacher. She wrote a book, When Things Fall Apart, which is full of jewels. This is one. So this is where we find ourselves. None of what we learn seems very relevant when our lover leaves us. Our child has a tantrum in the supermarket. When we're insulted by a colleague, how do we reconcile that frustration and humiliation with our longing to be open and compassionate? I'm asking you, how? So we're right on line, right? So this is an interesting place to find oneself, Pema writes. For the practitioner, this is an exceedingly important place. This is from When Things Fall Apart. Now, who's a practitioner here of religious science? Every hand in the room should be up unless this is your first time visiting us. We're all, if we're practicing, if we have a practice, regardless of your judgment of whether it's good enough or not, by the way, you have a practice, right? And it's enough to where you are today, right? But we do want to make a commitment to grow in our practice, yes? Yeah, we want to make a commitment to grow in our awareness of the presence of the one Spirit, yes? Yes. We want to grow in our commitment to allow this Spirit to embody us so completely that we are demonstrating its infinite power and creative process by means of our life, yes? Yes. Yeah. So that pesky human condition. Why can't I sit on the cushion and call it a day? Why can't I receive communion and, okay, well, that's done, right? Why can't I do a spiritual mind treatment and be complete? Well, the potential is there. That completion, that healing potential is there in all of these modalities, right? And in fact, we often have, we always demonstrate. Right? Sometimes we have to attune ourselves to see the demonstration. Many times, and this is a real value in spiritual community, it's the people who we are sharing in community who point out to us, man, you look fantastic. And, you know, in our thinking, we're like, what, this old thing? Right? And then, but then you hear from 2 or 3 people, well, maybe it's true. Right? You're on the job and you hear people talking about you behind your back, but not like they did in the old days. Now they're saying nice things about you behind your back. Yeah, you know, there's something Mary always brings something to the meeting that's helpful, right? So it's not just about, in this teaching, it's not just playing this cover your ass game so that you can get into the big club through the pearly gates. See if your name's on the list, right? That heaven and hell are states of consciousness that we are creating right here and right now. And so if you believe in an afterlife and in the pearly gates in heaven and so forth, that's great, right? But the way you get there is by building heaven here. So you're just going into the next room, not in some strange land that you have no idea. It could be Mordor for all you know. Oh, we do have a few Lord of the Ring fans. Okay. That pesky human condition. And we have chosen, here's the thing, we have chosen to incarnate at this precise time. So if you're looking out in the world, you're seeing chaos, or you're going, wahoo, finally, things are going our way. However you're seeing the world, we have chosen to incarnate in this time and place. That we have called each other into this spiritual endeavor, regardless of our judgments around this fact. Judgments of ourselves or of others. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh has a story or a teaching around Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. And I found this very interesting. Here's something to ponder. If you are a fan, I wouldn't say that I report about Buddhism. And I'm very endeared to the teaching, but I'm not a teacher in that realm by any chance. But I do like this, that he writes, because Thich Nhat Hanh definitely was. He was the dude. And the dude abides, as we all know. So, it's funny how some of these land and it takes a while. All right, the dude abides. All right, so the Buddha, enlightenment didn't stop him from being human. Speaking of the Buddha, enlightenment did not stop him from being human. After his enlightenment, he was still a human being with all the suffering and afflictions that having a human body entails. He experienced feelings and emotions, pain, cold, hunger, and fatigue, just like all of us. From his teachings, we know he suffered. But the key point is he knew how to suffer. He knew how to suffer. His awakening came from suffering. This is true for many of us as well. You know, if you're lucky, you got here through inspiration and had your aha moment. I'm not wired, I'm a stubborn dude. I have to try it every which way until finally I just surrender and say, okay, there's got to be another way because this shit's too hard. I'm exhausted. I'm trying to figure out how to make that woman love me. I've tried everything. I've thrown money at her. I have tried, You do that for a couple of wives and, you get worn out. So our awakening can come from suffering. He knew how to make good use of his afflictions in order to what? Experience awakening. All right. So let's go ahead and before I get off on another tangent, and we'll be here all day, because we have a birthday party to go to. So let's take a deep breath together. Has something landed on you today that you can use and found useful? Hopefully you heard something that maybe you agree with. Maybe something maybe something you don't agree with that you ponder through the rest of the week. So we've heard it said that pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. I think this is still so. If in anything that I struggle with, there is the root cause, and then there's all the stuff I pile onto it, and then the suffering that I reap from the heap. Because my magnificent magnifying mind can expand anything I give my attention to. And this is the nature of the human condition, I think. And so as we ponder this day, maybe even ponder the weekend for those of us who were here yesterday. We have some work to play with this week. What is one thing we can shift in our thinking that allows us to be more courageous in our compassion? What's the one thing that we can be more courageous about within our own thinking that up until now may have held us bound in some way, kept us shackled to a suffering that's become familiar, that it feels normal? What would it be like to be set free of that? So let's play around with that today. See if we can garner anything from that. Take it into our work week. See what's different. And then come back next week and report to each other. What a great week I had. And we'll see you then. All right, bye.
Slow down. Let it go. Slow down. Let it all go. All the fears and the doubts feelings of being alone. Surrender. Just let it go. Surrender. Let it go. All the shame and the guilt, all the lies, all the blame, feelings of being outside. Surrender. Let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Surrender. Surrender.
Taking a breath in this moment as we surrender to the infinite power and presence of the Most High as we understand it to be. That we know, and we know that this is the healing power of the universe, that we are inviting it to express itself in this moment. To know in every atom, every molecule, every cell, every muscle, every organ, every expression of our biological body, that we surrender to this infinite power and presence, knowing that this biological body is healed, that it is lifted to the perfection that is already its divine blueprint. Yes. That we know for our heart that it is being broken open in this moment of vulnerability. That we know that the healing power of the Most High is love itself. And so we honor our most sacred heart as we call forth the healing not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones, for our community, for our planet as well. That we know further that this infinite power and presence, this creative intelligence, that we are surrendering to it our whole life's expression, so that we experience prosperity in all of its expressions, that we are now living in the overflow of life, in its full, free, and prosperous expression. That we not only feel this demonstration of life, that it's easy, that it's obvious. So we just surrender it all now. Let's take a deep breath together and release. We surrender, we release it all now to that aspect of the mind of the Most High, acting as law, that knows only to say, yes, my beloved, yes. In you I am well pleased. Receive. Surrender.
Open your heart. Let in the light. Open your mind. Surrender. Let it go. Don't you know God is here? Don't you know God is here? Let it all go.
So we did go a little long today, but it's Teresa's fault, not mine. She got me so worked up and open-hearted, I had to say something. Beautiful Teresa James. Doing a song by Cynthia James. Doing a song by Cynthia James. Your sister from another mister. Yeah, all right. So, Chloe, you want to bring our offering basket up? So we just have a little bit of business to do here. Yeah, I know, Claudia, me too. That was good stuff. So as you make your way up, yeah.
Through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Oh, Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So just go within for another moment or two as we recognize that this basket represents both the generous heart of the individual, the receptive heart of this spiritual community. The generous heart of the individual who knows and knows that they know that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so now we, representing the heart of this spiritual community, we accept these gifts with deep love and respect, as we know together these gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only this spiritual community, but anyone connected to it in any way. That from this place of gratitude, we extend a blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, for our planet as well, that we know in some crazy cosmic way that the infinite creative intelligence of life itself is making itself known. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see its demonstration in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts, and we experience the sweetness of life and spiritual living in all of its forms. And together we can acknowledge this by saying, and so it is, amen. And so we do have a few kids today. Would you like to share today, or are folks a little shy?
Would like to do something.
Good.
This is a real microphone. Tell them the song that you, just a little part of the song.
The song I sang is John Legend, Save Room.
Oh, nice. All right. Go ahead and sing a little part of it like you did.
Say that you stay a little. Don't say bye-bye tonight. Say you'll be mine. Just a little bit of love is worth a moment of your time. Knocking on your door, just a little. So cold outside tonight. Let's get a fire burning. Oh, I know I'll keep it burning bright. If you stay, won't you say?
Well done. I saw you playing basketball on Facebook one day, too. Yeah, so good for you. All right, so let's give some love one more time. Teresa James. Find her wherever you download music. And what's the day at Ireland's 32?
March 8th, Saturday night.
That's a Saturday night. So if you come to church in the morning, you get extra enlightenment points. And let's invite Andrea to pray us out. Great being with you here today. And let's happy birthday to Reverend Nancy one more time.
Andrea, before you start, can you sing my little birthday song?
Yeah, please.
Everybody help me. Clap your hands. Ready?
Woo!
This is your birthday song. It doesn't last too long.
Perfect.
So let's come together in this moment of joy and love. Let's just acknowledge that this joy and this love that is being expressed right here and right now is an expression of the divine, knowing that it is everywhere present. We leave this place lifted. Our spirits are lifted so high. We rejoice and we love and we sing and we dance and we celebrate this wonderful life that is, letting go of all that garbage that no longer serves us and declaring that God is my life and all is well. And so I just take this opportunity to bless the food that we are about to allow to nourish our bodies, blessing the hands that have gone into the preparation, the animals that have sacrificed their lives for the benefit of us to enjoy this time together, celebrating Reverend Nancy. It is all good because it is all God. And in agreement with this, we simply say together, and so it is, amen. Join us for the peace song, if you will.